Hello, this is Nikki in Niagara coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. And today we are going to do a bit of a review on a couple of products. If you saw my last haul, you will have seen that I got this watercolor set from Aliexpress. And we're going to give it a try out and see what it is like. Secondly, I have this pad of watercolor paper from Amazon, which I'm going to try out as well. The paper is 9 by 12, 140 pound, 300 GSM, has 35 sheets, which is a lot, and it's by Magic Fly, who are in Charlotte, North Carolina, USA. So I've already pulled out a sheet, and it was easy enough to take out. It doesn't say anything about the type of paper, but if I hold it up here, should be able to see that it has texture on it. It's kind of a nice even texture. You can definitely feel it with your hands. Turn it this way, and now I'll put something on there so my camera focuses better. So let's zoom in a little bit for this. First off, I will start by saying I am not a watercolorist in any shape or form. I don't even really consider, well, only thing that I do is dip and dop and plunk and whatever to make backgrounds for my pages. So you're not going to get any kind of art or picture here. But what we will do is swatch these colors out, and then we will test its, what is the word for that? I know it. It will come to me, but it's when you drop it into the water and then I want to say bleeds through the water. That's what I like about watercolors. So this is Asian. The writing goes this way, so I'm assuming it's Korean or Japanese. There are 18 colors. It is a solid watercolor. It says on that side, and on this side it says, it tells us how to use them. They're by BGLN, and it gives us a website which I've tried and it doesn't exist. Now this is what it tells us about the colors, about the set. Bright colors, high saturation, smooth hand feeling, easily soluble in paint and fast drying, durable and light permanency, color transparency and fastness, easy to carry. Through special concentration technology compressed into small size but also have large capacity, it can express very bright colors after add water. So we have a bit of choppy English there. So adorable packaging, and so far everything feels good. It doesn't feel cheap. The case is absolutely gorgeous, and it's got some heft to it. I wouldn't say it was heavy, but you know, it's got some heft to it. You can see the size of it by it being in my hands, but let's measure here. I know you can't see me, but it is 7 by 4.5 inches is the size of it. So we open it up easily enough, and this is a part I like here especially, is we get a mixing tray which has legs on it, so you can set that to your side, or like me, I am going to set it in the lid. It fits perfectly. It comes with 2 watercolor brushes. I I should have put some water in these. Didn't intend on using them. Okay, so they're two different ones. You get a, I'm going to put my hand there. You get a round one. Let's do one at a time. You get a round, thin one, and a straight one, like that. And you know what? I'm going to stop for a minute because I am going to go fill these. Okay, so the brushes were easy enough to fill. They're the kind that just have an opening and you put the water in. They do turn counterclockwise though, so that would make me say that they're intended for the Japanese audience. I know Japanese reads from right to left, but I do not think Chinese does, and I honestly have no idea about Korean. So, we've got our brushes and we've got our paints. There are no color names or numbers. Let's see, does this come out? Okay, so this is not made of the same stuff. Okay, so it does come out. I don't want to break it, but this does come out, and I don't think it would break it if I did. So I'm going to, I don't know if I can get the paper and the paints on at the same time. No, we're not going to with the flat brush. And our first color is white. So obviously we aren't going to see anything with that. Tough to tell. No, actually I can see it. Okay, so next we have, it looks like a bright yellow. So far so good. I'll say these are very creamy. Alright, so I'm going to speed this up and we will swatch the colors. Okay, there we go. Those swatched really nice. They have a lot of pigment and they're very easy to activate. Just a touch of the brush and you picked up a lot of color. If you look at the bottom ones there, the brown, the gray, and the black, you can see how creamy they are. Just rubbing across the top creates a nice cream on the top there. So yeah, like I don't know a lot about watercolors, so we will let these dry and then we'll see if they feel chalky. The paints themselves, before I before I added water to them did not feel chalky. They didn't feel chalky to the touch. They felt slick, if anything. My white should be dry. Oh, no, it's not. It's not. They're all still wet. I don't really use the sponges. I just have a cloth here, which I like to use instead. So while we're waiting for those to dry, and I mean, they're all really nicely pigmented. These are lighter colors here, and that I was thinking that would be a brown, and it's more reddish. This one I was just playing with. Yeah, so I guess that's more like a raw umber, or no, sorry, burnt umber. But I can't get right up to the camera because of the angle that it's on, but gives you a look of them at that point. I mean, so far I'm pleased with them for craft quality paints. So let's get some water on the page and do the whatever it's called. I do know the word, I say it all the time. But of course, at this moment I can't. Okay, got a problem with my water brush. It is leaking all over my table. I also found that when I tried to squeeze water out of it, it came out of the joint here instead of the brush. So let's give it a try here. Let me hold it up. Let's hold it straight. Nah, you can't see. I'm squeezing really hard and I got nothing happening. Okay, it's coming out of this part. The water is coming out of, where are we? Yeah, the water is coming out of here. Yeah, it's got quite a bit. Okay, I'm going to lay it down on my table again and see if it leaks. And it was tight. Before we work with the water, let's just try the other brush out, the one with the tip on it. I'm going to take some of this pink right here. I like that. Let's work over here. Now let's squeeze. And this one seems to be working better than the other one did. So we're getting a lot of paint off of that. Okay, so this one is not leaking. Maybe I just didn't quite have it on tight enough. Alright, so let's try adding the water. So, I'll put some water on the surface here. And I'm going to use my own brush for daubing. Plopping. That's what it is. Let's use, which is one of the dark colors, the orange. It's not really going very far, is it? I used the wrong orange too. So, not getting a lot of spread. So I don't know if this is the paper or the paint. Paper is starting to buckle a little bit here where I've got it really wet. Up here at the top with when I did the when on dry, it's not, but it is definitely bulking here. Let's try some of the light green. Yeah, not terribly need a lot of water. To get it to do anything. Okay. The water just kind of sits on top of this paper. It's not absorbing in much at all. Okay, so now let's try, let us work, let me get on screen. We will work in this section right here. Let's use a really wet brush onto the dry. Let's see how far the paint will go. So you get a lot of paint from one brush load. Okay. So, excuse my bad watercolor habits. I just like to mess around with them. But they don't move that great, but they definitely have pigment. So for a craft set of paints, they're alright. I just feel like doing something else with it. The paper is, it's buckling here where I put all the water, but everywhere else it's okay. So, I have to say I'm not liking this paper. Alright, well, let's feel them. Oops, it's not dry yet. Okay, well, these three are, and they're not chalky. There's no difference from the feeling of the paper. So yeah, I mean, you know, nothing comes, well, Well, I have the wet paint on my hand. Okay, here's a clean finger. Nothing comes off onto my finger. So yeah, that's good. Okay, so they're okay, let's try a piece of paper without putting all that water on it. And then we'll finish up. But yeah, okay, so these are not chalky. They feel nice on the page, and they have a lot of pigment. Now, you know what we should do is I'll compare them to a paint that I do like. That is a craft paint, and that's my Jane Davenport's. So, I think these pinks are comparable. Okay, I'm going to take a really wet brush, and I'm going to use the Jane Davenport Best Friend. I'm filming. Okay. And now let's take the equivalent pink. Oops. Need to get water. Now let's take the equivalent shade of here. These are the Aliexpress paints. Okay, just gonna try the Fairy Tale of Jane Davenport. Okay. Now let's try that pink again. So, I don't know. You can definitely tell that the color is chalkier. It's still wet. You can definitely tell it's chalkier, but there's more pigment. Way more. So we'll see how this one turns out when it dries. I'll just do a little bit more messing around. So I only have the two pinks over here. Let's put some green with it. This is the light green. Ugh, my brush is dirty. My water is dirty. See, I got some over here. I better go with a dark color. Okay, so that is the Aliexpress paint, and then I guess I will use Jiminy for Jane Davenport. So I'm just going to get out my gun and dry these. So, I think they're somewhat comparable. The Aliexpress are chalky. Definitely have a chalky look to them. But they don't feel chalky. Nothing comes off on your hand. Jane doesn't feel chalky either, so we're getting the same of that. I think it's just a matter of opinion. And the colors, very similar. For a craft paint, I didn't dry this one off. But, yeah. So I don't have anything else to say. So there you go. You've got to look at what the Aliexpress paints are like. I will definitely be playing around with those. But I have to say I like my Jane's better. But here in Canada, the price of the Jane Davenports are twice the price of the Aliexpress one. So that's what you get for having a brand name. So, all things said and done, I'm not disappointed in having bought those. I will play around with them, and now you guys can see what these paints, at least, and there are a lot of paints on AliExpress that they show you this part. Sorry. They show you the open part like this, and there are various differentiations, and like there's just one brush, there's just one of these. They may look exactly the same. There weren't very many that actually showed the packaging, so I don't think you'll get the packaging unless they show it. And I will give a link to the ones that I bought, so you can decide if you are interested in them and see how much they are. I'm not going to say how much they are because I vaguely know that they were in the late teens, maybe early 20s. Jane Davenport paints are $39.99 in Canada, and I was saying Canadian dollars for the AliExpress ones as well. So, yeah, I'll leave a link to those down below. And the paper, yeah, it's not bad. I just wouldn't saturate it with water, because this piece is like, and you can't really tell, but it's wobbled. This page is just, I mean, the Davenports are just doing a little bit, you know, they look whatever. I can't talk for trying. So anyways, thank you for watching this probably lame watercolor review. And if you made it this far with me, then please give me a thumbs up, because I probably use it on this one. And in the meantime, until next time, bye-bye!